Billman is the kind of guy, he didn't qualify out of his heat race this afternoon. He went down the first corner. He had to ride another qualifier, and his lap times in that matched that of Ricky Carmichael, McGrath, everyone out front. Not as fast as Tim Ferry. Tim Ferry, number 15 on the 4-stroke, got a little bit of a power advantage tonight. He is riding the best I've seen him yet. And the thing is, Ricky right there, number 4, next to Ezra Lusk, number 11, has dominated the season so much. These guys that haven't won one are really trying hard to put it together here tonight before the series ends.
30-second board sideways, moments away from the start of the main event in the 250 class here in Salt Lake City. There they go. Ricky Carmichael battling in the middle of the track with Jeremy McGrath, and there is a major pile-up back in the pack. The whole shot, though, goes to McGrath. There's Ezra Lusk with trouble.
I'll tell you what, it's a chain reaction. McGrath gets the lead. He needs this so bad. He's got to preserve his record of 13. This is how he's got to do it. Get out front, force these guys to ride around him. But he moved over on the start like he should have. I would have done it, but it didn't leave any room for Ezra Lusk, who clipped the inside and over the handlebars.
McGrath with the lead. Ricky Carmichael right behind, and Kevin Windham, number 14, in third at the moment.
Watch Ricky. He will be so impatient to get around McGrath. Don't let McGrath settle into a pace. Attack him right away. We got the loop section coming up. That's where Ricky's been faster all afternoon.
The two superstars of the sport, Jeremy McGrath, the 7-time Supercross champion, the king until this year, and the man who has owned the series all season long, Ricky Carmichael, battling it out for the lead.
I'll tell you what, number the blue back there in 4th, there he is, Tim Ferry. He passed McGrath in his qualifier this afternoon and riding the best I've ever seen him ride. He's got a shot. He's in contention here. He's right there in that lead group.
McGrath, slow, but takes that inside route. We've seen him do that as well. How many times have you seen Jeremy McGrath through his career passed like he was by Ferry? There's Windham battling for second.
What a great battle. And Jeremy knows how to handle this pressure, and I haven't seen that very much. Hardly ever does somebody catch and pass him. Ricky and Ezra Lusk are the only guys I can think of. Windham has done it once. These guys all want it. I think Jeremy's wanted it the most. He's got to save face here a little bit before this series is over. He's been embarrassed for 11 races now.
McGrath, Carmichael, Windham, Ferry, the top 4 battling it out. And there goes Ferry, who overtakes 3rd place ahead of Windham.
But Jeremy can feel what's going on behind him. His crowd is standing there loud. He knows something's going on back there, and he better ride perfect. One mistake, and he cannot just drop the 2nd, but the 4th. I only wish that Ezra Lusk hadn't gone down in the first corner. He had a good start. This would be a 5-way battle.
And there goes Carmichael. He takes the lead on the inside. Carmichael, McGrath on the outside. McGrath looks back at Ricky Carmichael as they go into the corner. What a race this is turning out to be. McGrath will not die.
But Carmichael's doing what you have to do. You've got to attack. As soon as you let Jeremy get comfortable, forget about it. He's going down the left side right here. That could prove to be the place that he can make the pass later in the race.
Carmichael trying to get there. McGrath holds him off, though, as they go through the finish line here.
See, McGrath has got to go around the inside of that corner, or else they'll go inside and block past him. But the inside line is harder. He's got to ride so defensive right here, but not race, not lose. You know, it's a fine line, and Jeremy knows how to do that. Look at that.
And it's a major bottleneck.
That may have been on purpose, Terry. I've done it before. It's called a brake check. You just take your time a little bit, let the guy behind you run into you, mess up his momentum, and you pull away on the way out. Now look at the breathing room Jeremy has going into that corner this time.
And you know it's a major motivational factor for Jeremy McGrath. No matter what he says, and he hasn't said anything to the contrary, but he has relinquished the title to Ricky Carmichael, but now he tries to hold the streak intact and to keep his record. Remember, 13 in a row. In 1996, Carmichael going after that record and going after McGrath here in Salt Lake City. We'll be back. See, Jeremy McGrath still has the lead here in the 250 main event, but it's Tim Ferry who just a moment ago passed Ricky Carmichael. He's in 2nd, and now Kevin Windham, number 14, is in 3rd ahead of Carmichael, who had his problems.
All it takes is one little mistake, and you don't lose one position, you lose them all. Look at Ferry, unbelievable.
Ferry passes McGrath.
Well, this is deja vu from their heat race this afternoon, but that time Jeremy gave up. This time he can't. He's got Wyndham right on his tail.
Tim Ferry looking for his first win. He's been a pro since 1991, and he won the 125 East back in '97, but looking to cross the finish line first for the first time in the 250 main event.
Over that triple on the last lap, Carmichael wasn't able to do it. He had to roll it all. Just because he applied a little bit of pressure to Jeremy out front, he loses all his momentum. He's got to roll this thing. There goes Ferry, and here comes Wyndham. So a bad decision by Carmichael right there, going after the lead, cost him 2 positions, and now look where he's got a long ways to go.
And Wyndham passes Jeremy McGrath. Kevin Wyndham now in second place. McGrath had a chance to get the lead back, or at least get second place back a moment ago, but there goes Wyndham again. And in terms of Ricky Carmichael, he has not been passed very often this season, as you now see him pass McGrath, and he hasn't had to come from behind very often.
Now I wonder mentally what this is going to do to Jeremy. He had the lead, he's fought for it, he regained it several times. Now he's in fourth, and these guys are getting away from him, and emotionally he might feel like, you know what, this year is just not going well. And here's a perfect example, and I don't know if he's got enough fight in him to go back up and challenge these guys. The pace right now has gone completely off the scale, and Ferry, of all people, is setting it. Now, he's been ridden super so far this year on that 4-stroke. Done a great job for Yamaha, but this is just off the scale.
McGrath doing his best to catch up here, but he's losing some ground.
And what's up with Florida? I mean, there's never been a champion from Florida. You got a Floridian leading the race, and Carmichael is already the champion, going after the records from McGrath, also from Florida.
2 Floridians out west here in Salt Lake City battling for the top spot. Wyndham right behind, though, Tim Ferry. Ferry, that 26-year-old from Largo, Florida.
I wouldn't have bet $1 that Wyndham was going to win this race tonight. And look what's happening. He's the one applying the pressure. It's difficult to deal with pressure, and everyone knows who's watched the sport and seen Kevin Wyndham, and he has a little tough time with that. Right now, he doesn't feel it. He's able to apply it. If he can get around Ferry right now, I know he's trying to. He needs to do that. If he can't, Carmichael is going to bother him, and it's over.
Wyndham, the 23-year-old from Centerville, Mississippi. He's always had a great deal of natural talent, huge potential, and now he makes a move and a pass on the inside. But Ferry comes back to retake the lead. And there goes Wyndham on the inside, and back comes Ferry. Ferry and Wyndham. And they're next to each other in the overall point standings, too. Wyndham in 5th, Ferry right behind in 6th. There goes Wyndham, number 14 on the inside.
And Carmichael is right there. McGrath has dropped off the pace. He's not in contention at all. He's actually been passed by Michael Rocco, who got a bad start and is moving up through the pack.
Kevin Wyndham, number 14, ahead of Ricky Carmichael now. And Ferry in 3rd.
Well, now we're going to see how well Kevin can deal with pressure, because Ricky Carmichael will not leave him alone. Kevin's got to get comfortable with the idea that if he wins this, it's going to be by an inch.
He's a small rider, and he's only number 4, but Ricky Carmichael, that's a large shadow to have right behind you.
Watch Ricky square this corner. Dive back to the inside on the power. No problem. How's that for corner speed?
Carmichael just blows by Wyndham.
Now this goes back to what I said at the start. Carmichael rides a little bit on the edge. If you do that here, you could pay the price. Kevin's got to stay close and force Ricky to push himself a little bit out of his comfort zone and possibly into a mistake.
Think about the action that we've seen already. Not even halfway through this main event. Remember, we're over 4,500 feet in altitude here. How much is that going to wear on these riders?
It's going to wear a lot. We might already be seeing an example of that. Ricky, other than Michael Rocco, who has worked his way up into 4th from a poor start, Ricky is the strongest guy in the field. Wyndham, I don't know, he's probably about number 5 or 6 in terms of the toughest guys out there. And about lap 8, these guys start to get tired. They were starting to get tired at the end of their heat races, which are 8 laps. They got 10 more laps to go. Fatigue is going to play a major role.
Ricky Carmichael, number 4, with the lead right now, about halfway through this main event. for the 250 class. The streak alive for the moment. He's won 11 in a row, going to number 12. For 4 decades, one program has brought you the athletes and the events that have become etched in popular culture. The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. ABC's Wide World of Sports 40th Anniversary Special, presented by Aflac, is coming up next. And you should not miss that program. That should be great. Up next here on ABC. Meanwhile, the 250 main event has been dominated by Ricky Carmichael. He still has the lead here. Number 4 in a familiar spot. It's been a good battle behind him, though, David.
Well, you know, for a moment there, I thought this was it. Carmichael's streak was going to end. He dropped all the way to 4th. His guys were fighting past him, and he doesn't give up. And I talked about how fit he is. He and LaRocco right there, number 5, all the way up to 3rd. Just shaved a half a second off Carmichael's lead, but I'm surprised he hasn't been able to close the gap on Tim Ferry, who's riding a solid 2nd. But physical fitness in this last 5 laps is the absolute key.
And Mike LaRocco, the veteran, the 30-year-old from South Bend, Indiana, how good is he coming from behind? Last week, he was last coming out of the starting gate, had a crash, but fought his way all the way back to finish 4th. And he seems to do this nearly every week.
Oh, he's good at it. This is what he's known for. I think that if Mike got the whole shot, was leading at the beginning of the race, he might still end up in 2nd or 3rd. It just seems like he gravitates to that position every week. He's got the potential to win, but something's missing. And something that's maybe helping him here tonight. You know, Davey Coombs pointed out the track is breaking down. It's real slippery. Mike uses a 20-inch front wheel as opposed to a 21-inch. That gives him a little bit better traction than everybody else. And he's the only guy strong enough to muscle that bigger tire around.
LaRocco, one of the major names throughout this season. You know, only 5 riders have finished on the podium this season. 42 available spots, only 5 have finished in the top 3 throughout the year. As you look at Ricky Carmichael, number 4, ahead of the pack again.
Ricky Carmichael's last lap slower than both Ferry and LaRocco. He better be careful not to put it in the cruise mode. You see how close they are. And Villeman, 9:34, makes his return. He had an injury. Makes his return to Supercross here in Salt Lake. A fine performance. He didn't get the greatest start, but he marked LaRocco all the way up through the pack. He's starting to lose a little bit of time now, but still a fine ride in 4th.
Pretty impressive. David Villeman, we mentioned he hasn't raced since March 17th, a broken collarbone, but he won 4 races last season. He finished 2nd overall.
It didn't start off that way for him, but he's starting to show signs of that form again. A little too late, but still, he's got the outdoor season approaching next month, and he needed a little bit of confidence, and this is going to give it to him.
Not much of an off-season at all for a lot of these guys, is there?
No, their off-season is spent testing and riding races in Europe. You know, sponsor obligations and appearances. These guys, when they do get their time off, it's harder than it is when they just go out and race.
Jeremy McGrath, number 1, just ahead of Ezra Lusk, hot on his heels. Thought for a moment early in the race that this could be the night for Jeremy McGrath. He had the lead, battled back and forth, but then struggled.
Yeah, you know, I was surprised that he was in the lead fighting as well as he did, because he struggled all day. Consider that Ezra went down the first corner, and now he has a shot at passing Jeremy, who was leading the race. Not been a good day for McGrath, but I think he's realized the title's gone. His motivation has slipped a little bit. That's obvious. And I just am anxious to see what he does over the summer and how hungry he comes back into next season. There goes Ezra, jumps right by. McGrath doesn't put up that much of a fight. He just kind of gets handed the position back. And what allowed Ezra to get this close was about 2 laps ago, Jeremy stalled the bike.
Lusk fighting to get ahead of McGrath, but there is Ricky Carmichael into the air.
His lead over Tim Ferry has shrunk. White flag. He's got to be perfect this lap or Ferry can win this.
There's number 15 right behind, left side of your screen, Tim Ferry. Making a run at Carmichael here on the final lap.
Ferry has done such a good job of pushing the pace today. Mistake-free, keeping Carmichael honest. Very few people have done that this year. They've even made LaRocco back there, who caught these guys, say uncle. He's just given up, dropped way off the pace.
Well, at some point, the way Carmichael has been riding, isn't that a temptation just to say, hey, I can't catch this guy. I can't match what he's doing on the track.
Oh, especially when he crashes as bad. This afternoon, right in this section, right there, Carmichael did a big face planting. He looped the bike over backwards, and he had a headache this afternoon. They were worried about a mild concussion, and he's recovered. So that just breaks your spirit. You're like, how can I beat this guy?
Ricky Carmichael into the air across the finish line. He has now won 12 in a row and 13 overall on the season. The streak continues. Trying to catch Jeremy McGrath's record. He's got one more to go.